Hi everyone, sorry about the view in this video. Couldn't really think of another way to do it. Yeah, so it's just going to be a bit like this. Okay, right, what's this session about? This one is about, it's a bit about playing drums, but it's more about the physical nature of learning an instrument or being a musician. One of the things that I'm full of thoughts about is how I could have done things differently in the way that I studied. You know, when I was putting between 4 to 8, maybe upward some days, hours a day into practicing over a period of about 10 years. When I was doing that, or another way of putting it is when I was in the thick of my 10,000 hours kind of training, if I had the kind of thoughts that I have now about that, if I'd had that then, where that might have placed me, it's fine. If you think I'm being kind of like a bit melancholic here and reflective, a tiny bit, not too much though. You know, things have worked out pretty great. Anyway, I'm really struck by how physical barriers get in the way. You probably find the same. You know, I find that my brain is a typical thing being human, isn't it? You know, the brain is just so far ahead of the body. I can think it, but I can't do it. And that's just a typical human kind of problem. I suppose it's maybe what a lot of humans enjoy about being human. It's great, don't get me wrong, brains are cool, but they can be problematic as well. And one of the things that's definitely the case is that my physical self, the body, is behind what the brain can do. Anyway, so back to music, right? Imagine an exercise that you can do on any instrument. It could be on drums or whatever it is that you play, whereby it will train what it is that you want from a physical perspective. It keeps you occupied in a kind of intellectual sense, and also musically it offers what you want, and helps you travel the distance that you want to travel musically as well. Imagine if you could have that. And I'm not saying that I have it, but here are some thoughts on it in relation to drums, and then maybe you can find an equivalent for the instrument or your own voice. You know, I just think so much about physical barriers. Just to put it in a kind of like tech world, this interests me a lot. DJing and things like that. Making the tracks is one thing, but then what are you going to do in terms of presenting them? There's a physical engagement which you need to think about there, for example. Okay, so I'm going to give you a really straightforward exercise and then some thoughts about that. There's nothing flash here. This is probably presented a million times over on YouTube. It's just what I happened to come up with under the conditions that I'm working to this week. Okay, I'll play it first and show you some stuff, and then I'll explain what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Okay, so stuff like that. Essentially just hitting a drum. Here are some thoughts. Why am I playing it on a pad? This is why. I'm not going to put my hand underneath there whilst I do that stroke, nor am I going to hit a drum with that kind of force, because everyone else in this house is going to get a real shock, and it's going to be unpleasant for the people who are all nearby and what have you. But I want you to see how physically involved that is. That's one of the great things that you guys do in workshop, is play so loud and get so physically involved. That is so important to do, and that's why I'm doing it like this, because I can get that kind of physical engagement that I need. That's one thing. So do think about that. Okay, so that's in terms of what I'm playing on. Why am I playing what I'm playing? Well, for me, trying to at least master a repetitive movement is so much part of what I need to do. So much of the music that I listen to and want to play involves drumming that has one or two of the hands playing repeated notes. So I just need to train myself to be able to do it better. So I need a speed where I can play it for a long time, that's comfortable, but that is gonna improve the way that I do it, okay? So something perhaps like this. I'll take my technique to kind of breaking point, and then we'll scale it back and then find somewhere which is comfortable for training. So this is maybe not working hard enough, although, you know, doing this at any speed is really valuable, because I have to play at all speeds, etc., etc. I didn't articulate that well, but you know what I mean. So here, this is kind of easy, like zone 2 heart rate run. Okay, I'm going to take it out too quick. And you can see what happens is it breaks down instantly, okay? So let's back it off and let's split the difference between those. So I'm working hard, but I can still do it. Okay, good, and repeat that ad nauseum. Okay, good. So hopefully. Hopefully some of that is kind of coming through. Now, what I'm trying to do is play something that, one, like I said, gives me the physical gains that I want. Two, is intellectually where I want it to be, i.e. I don't question what I'm doing. I don't sit here doing this and then going, like freak out. What am I doing? I'm wasting my wild and precious life doing rubbish stuff. No, I like that that's getting me where I want to go. I can zone into the repetitive craft of doing this, and I don't question it, because I know musically it's going to give me the output that I want. I'll just move to the brushes here. Already feeling, a bit like music with very little effort whatsoever, just in terms of musical thought, just doing it. So there are some thoughts about that. If I was in your position, which I'm not, but if I was now, I would be looking towards somebody or a mentor that was advising me or giving me these kind of physical exercises to work on, I could understand really well. Hopefully, drummers, you can see what I'm doing. It doesn't need a lot of explaining, I don't think. And I'm going to do that for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to get myself to the point whereby everything intellectually and musically that I want to achieve, I've at least got a shot at doing it. Practice does not make perfect, but it does make possible. One of the other cool things about this exercise is this. You can drink coffee whilst you're doing it. So yeah, practice makes possible, not perfect or anything like that. And in the coming videos, I'm going to show you how what I've just done here relates to playing some music. Okay, hope that makes sense. See you next time. Sorry about the, well, you know. Okay, ciao, bye.